Martin and welcome to another great edition of Astronomy for Beginners. And today I'm going to do a product review on the latest product from Altair Astro, and it's this telescope. This is the 66 EDR refractor. Now this is just a small telescope which has got really good optics, compact size, making this an ideal enthusiast telescope, not just for astronomy, but it can be used for bird watching and other things. Because of its portable size, it's a fantastic wide field telescope, and the amount of images that I got from this telescope is absolutely stunning. Now don't get me wrong, I have used a variety of equipment between 80mm all the way up to 12-inch telescopes for astronomy. They're all fantastic instruments, but there are just certain things and certain aspects while I've used this more often is because of the sheer size. This telescope, because it's light, it's portable, I need to use a less demanding mount to do the job when I do astro imaging of deep sky objects. I've used this telescope more times than anything else, and particularly where I live up in Scotland, weather is a big issue for me, and so I need a quick setup, and this fits the bill, and it's absolutely fantastic for imaging the deep sky objects, particularly wide field. But again, I'm absolutely over the moon, and if I show you some pictures of what I've done for the past few months since holding this telescope, if we take a closer look on those images and see what you reckon. So, that's the images. It's really quite amazing, really, despite its small size. And yeah, that's what I've achieved through that telescope alone. Now bear in mind, this is a tiny 66mm aperture telescope. But the one key aspect is you've got to remember that if this telescope is mounted on an EQ mount, which has got motor drives and computer drives, and it's tracking along the sky, as long as you get accurate polar alignment, you are capturing a timed exposure. So in other words, you're gathering all that light, and with that light you're collecting. That is the key aspect. The mount is more important than the telescope itself. That's the main reason why for astrophotography you don't need a huge telescope. Don't get me wrong, aperture, big telescopes, and the light gathering that's collected from that aperture, you're collecting much more fainter details. But when you're doing astrophotography and you're on a limited budget, you too can still capture faint details on a tiny aperture scope like this. You don't need a massive telescope for astrophotography. As long as it's on a decent mount like this, okay, an EQ tracking mount with motors and a computer drive, if you've got that, as long as this mount is polar aligned and is tracking, you can take all the way up to 10-minute exposures. It's more than ample, and the amount of light which can be collected from such a small instrument, don't get me wrong, those images, those were only just 30 seconds to 2 minutes at the most, and maybe some more 5 minutes exposures. But look at the detail that's captured. Alright, and I'm going to give out a good honest review, show the key points of the telescope. So again, if you're interested in buying one of these telescopes, please contact this link below. Okay, contact Altair Astro. Alright, they're available to sell this telescope at a good price of £369. And again, we have other dealers as well, like Tring Astronomy. So there are many good companies out there that will sell this telescope. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a closer look on the telescope itself, and we're going to go through the specifications and the pros and cons. So again, we'll take a closer look from here. Now, I ordered this telescope, comes with this really compact case, which is dimension size of 39 centimeters in length, 25 centimeters width, and 19 centimeters in height. So it's relatively compact. They've got two lockable latches here and a nice plastic handle. This case is fully aluminium with a foam lined casing inside. So if we take a closer look, very good quality as it speaks. As you check inside here, you've got a decent foam lining, two sets of keys, and you've got little inserts to either put in some eyepieces and all that. And there's a nice big piece here. If we take that whole thing out, okay, you can take that all out. That's good enough to put some a diagonal mirror, or a 2-inch diagonal mirror in there. And you can either, from the look of that size there, you could actually fit a DSLR camera in there as well. So already, first impressions with the case, much better than some of the brands I've seen that've got similar stuff. Okay, this is fully aluminium, right? There's no wood or ply anything in there. It's what you see is what you get at the sheer quality. As we take it out, okay, you will then begin to realise, we'll put the case to one side. Okay, so a lot of work's been put into this telescope, and don't get me wrong, Altair Astro are renowned for their sheer quality on their products. Now again, if we take a look at the quality now we're dealing with. As you can see with the optical glass there, this is an extra dispersion glass, and this is an airspace 66mm diameter f6 and it's because it's an ED doublet. It has the premium Japanese Aurora ED glass with the super high transmission coatings, and as you can see there, with the sheer quality, alright, this is not just a standard ED. This is a very premium quality refractor, okay, and you can see that is just beautiful, absolute beautiful coatings there, okay. And this is what I'm trying to highlight to you guys and girls, is that if you buy decent quality equipment like this, right, you will enjoy astronomy much more better. And what I'm trying to say is that premium optics will give you the best views of, this will give you extremely good images of the moon, the planets and deep sky objects. Now the resolving power on this is around about 1.75 arc seconds, which is very good for a 66mm, okay, very good optics, and it will give you a visual magnitude of 11.6. Now this, as you can see with the writing in the front, which has a 400mm focal length, a really good wide field at f6, so in comparison this would be a very good cheap way of a high quality lens, particularly like a telephoto lens for your camera. And again, this is premium optics. It's a lot cheaper than buying an expensive telephoto lens, when this can just do the job straight away. Now because it's an ED doublet, what I meant by ED doublet is you're paying for extra dispersion. Now extra dispersion will eliminate the chromatic aberration within a given image. So if you're focusing on an object, a given object, like a lot of chromatic refractors will give out some false colour in your images. This, however, will not give hardly any chromatic aberration because of the sheer quality of the glass. Okay, this is beautiful quality optics. And again, everything on this telescope, if we take the cap off here, alright, you're paying for CNC machining here. This is pure engineering at its best. Now the whole tube weighs around about 2 kg approximate weight, and it's very compact. This is around about 30 centimeters in length, okay. It has a retractable dew shield, okay, which is very smart, which I do like that, a retractable dew shield. Now it's very stiff as well, so it doesn't slip down, okay, which is good. So it's quite a good fit. Alright, I would like to have seen a screw here so you can lock it down, but however I don't think this will slip, obviously, when you're imaging. Now this focuser is a 10-to-1 focuser, which means it has its normal focus wheel here, and it has a little focuser that will give you some fine micro adjustments. I also like how the focuser can rotate all the way around to 360 degrees. Also, I do like how it has a friction clutch here, so you can lock down the focuser, alright, so it doesn't slip, particularly if you're going to fit any DSLR cameras or heavyweight optical devices. So I do like this device here. Okay, it's quite heavy, it is heavy, but bear in mind that this is not just a Creston focuser. No, this is this is actually a pinion, rack and pinion focuser. And as we could take a closer look at the sheer quality, a brass fitting there on the actual mechanism. So this rack and pinion not only doesn't slip, it also gives out a lot more torque, and we can prove that by if we take this off. This can accept 1.25 inch, and the adapter will allow the focuser to take in 2-inch format eyepieces as well. being a very high quality focuser, if we take off the adjustment screw, okay, slacken that out, like so. Alright, this is how good, this is fully slackened out. Alright, this is all the way down. Okay, it's quite a long draw tube, goes all the way down to almost 10 centimeters down. So there's a lot of focus travel, and also look at that, no slippage. Very, very smooth, very torquey, right? And that's what you need. And apparently it can take a weight of around about 3 kilograms, which is quite substantial. So, and this is not being adjusted, alright? This focuser tension is not being adjusted. So, and again, if it does slip, you can always adjust the friction, okay, on the lock screw, alright? And again, once you've achieved focus on the actual telescope, you just lock it down, like so. Alright, that's going nowhere. Right, that's pretty robust. Right, no slippage whatsoever. Alright, that's exactly what you want for imaging. You want a decent focuser. Alright, if you have a crappy focuser, the focuser will then slip, and if you're taking long exposures of the deep sky objects, for example, you're going to ruin your shots because the focuser is not performing as it should. And this is the reason why this telescope is fantastic for imaging, because of the focuser being well built as well as great optics. Now, also another nice touch I do like is that if we take that off, another nice touch is we look inside here. Okay, you've got nice brass fittings here that stops marking your eyepieces or your camera accessories and all that. So I do like that. Also, I do like it has 3 internal baffles inside. Okay, I don't know if you can be able to see that. There you go. You can see the baffles. Now the baffles are very good at eliminating stray light. So if you're targeting on a bright object or you've got a bit of glare in your area, this will eliminate some of the stray light getting onto the camera or your eyepiece and giving you some ghost-like images. If we take a closer look at the bottom, it has a Vixen dovetail here. Okay, it's a little bit basic, but however it does have 1.25 inch threads which you can actually attach a camera dovetail there, so you can connect it to a decent camera tripod, for example, or you can just use the existing dovetail itself and connect it to any EQ mount or any Altair Astro mount, as long as it's got a Vixen style dovetail. I do like how there is adjustment screws here. Okay, you've got adjustment screws at this point here. These are there for collimation of your focuser. They're only needed if your images are not quite or they're quite misaligned at collimation. You can adjust the focuser and get it that right. But to be honest with you, Altair Astro have already got this adjusted properly. So you shouldn't really be messing about with the collimation screws, okay? Everything here is all adjusted for you prior to when you purchase your telescope. I also like how there's a locking screw here, okay? So you can lock down the 360-degree focuser as well. The one thing I need to point out is that this part here is an attachment for a red dot finder. Now unfortunately, for some reason, you don't get this attachment. So if you do want a red dot finder, you're going to have to order the red dot finder with this adaptation. I prefer to use that one because it fits flush along the tube itself, okay, so it's nice and square, okay, and it's only held in by one screw. But because it's where it's machined and all that, you only need one screw. It's because it's an f6. If you combine that with a 0.8 photo reducer and fill flattener, which can be attached like so on this telescope here, Okay, you can attach that onto that telescope and then reduce the focal length to 370 millimeters at f4.8. You're making this telescope even faster. So in other words, you get even more wide field on the telescope and collects that light photons quicker. So now we go on to the cons, and one of them is the dew cap itself is not that great. Okay, and I'm talking, it's not that great that if I put it upside down and say, like I again move it around, it pops out. So it's not that great. I wish that Altair Astro have made the dust cap just a little bit better. Alright, the dust cap itself is good, but it's just the actual material they put in there, it doesn't grip onto the telescope just far enough. Okay, so that's something that I think they need to improve on, is the dust cap. The other problem is if you're going to use a photo reducer, you can only use a 0.8 times photo reducer and field flattener. If you try to use the Altair Astro 1.6 field flattener and photo reducer, it doesn't have enough focus, travel, and to basically focus with a DSLR camera and the actual optical device. So again, if you're going to order a 0.6 times thinking that you're going to have an f3.6 telescope, the 0.6 photo reducer does not work on this telescope, I'm afraid. So in other words, you can only use a 0.8 times. I've tried using my 0.6 and believe me, I need around about 10 mil of travel, inward travel, to try and get it into focus, which I think Altair Astro should actually look into this and make a 0.6 photo reducer that will work with this telescope, making it a really ultra fast point f3.6. Now if you take a closer look, you can see the dovetail goes one way. You can't put it the other way. You've got the friction lock screw here that's in the way. The only way for you to turn the dovetail other way around is to rotate the focuser itself. But again, here's the other catch. Your lock screw here is also in the way. So we've got the telescope. Again, on this smart EQ mount, it's perfect because you can fit it on there like so. Okay, lock it onto the dovetail like so. It's a good fit. So again, that's all locked in place. So as you can see, it's perfect for just normal use for visual. And again, you can attach a nice, you can attach your eyepiece or your mirror diagonal on there without no problems. But this is where the dovetail starts to, okay, let this side down a bit. Okay, because of its size, you can't, if you have it up here, I mean you can rotate it as it is now. But when you start adding more weight, and we fit our telescope with the camera, alright, this is what the problem is. Fit it on there like so. Okay, now as you can see already, it's bottom heavy. There's a lot of weight on this side, so when I try to balance it, okay, on the degree axis, because there's a lot of weight at the bottom, I need to try and counterbalance that. And the way to do that is I've got myself another dovetail and another dovetail plate itself. Again, you've got a female end with a clamp and the male end. Now, to be honest with you, you can mount this dovetail onto any mount, but I'm very particular with certain things because I don't want to mark this dovetail. So I've used this attachment, which is a Vixen female end, okay, which slots inside here. And what that does is, if we rotate that round and we lock this in place like so, okay, this will stop any marking on my original dovetail, and it basically gives me a step up, or like so. So now I can actually move the focus a little bit, but also I can still get access to my, my friction lock screw. Okay, so this is quite robust and it's quite sturdy. So there are ways around it. I just feel that I think Altair Astro should need to make that dovetail in a certain way so you don't get that problem. So that's the reason why I have this step up here, so that when I position this onto my EQ mount and I have my camera here, okay, like so, I can basically balance this properly. Okay, and that's the main reason why I have this. Now what I've done now is I've moved the telescope dovetail, so I've moved it slightly up, so now that should be balanced. Okay, like so. That is now a balanced scope. So that's the only disadvantage, and that's why I use this dovetail to try and counterbalance in the declination axis. And the thing is, would I recommend it? Yes, I would, purely because it's a perfect travel scope. You can take it around with you in its case, because of its size. One thing I have noticed, that if you buy a telescope, if it's portable and small, you're going to use it more often. Ideal telescope for you if you're looking for premium optics, high quality engineering. Again, a good telescope is the one you use the most. You can purchase this from Altair Astro on that link there, okay, and again, also available on Tring Astronomy. So that includes my product review on the 66mm ED refractor from Altair Astro. Again, if you're interested in astronomy and you'd like to join the group, please join the Astronomy for Beginners Facebook group. Okay, we've got a lot of friendly advice there. And also, if you like what you see on this video, please give a thumbs up on the video. And again, please subscribe onto my channel as well. Click on the subscribe button. Thanks again, thanks for watching, and clear skies to you all.